You may have noticed that enemies sometimes spawn with unequipable cores called co-processors. Their purpose is twofold. For one, they're used to enhance enemy stats early on in the game without outright giving the player overpowered cores that break progression. Their other purpose is to provide ingredients for the new crafting system. After completing a Chapter 2 quest for Valerie, she offers a core crafting service free of charge. Craftable cores cost co-processors equal to their kilowatt draw, and sometimes an item or two. Some requisite items are quite rare or expensive, like antimatter, an exclusive item of Chapter 5, Alloy 24, a rare drop from enemies in the 90s floor of the NTMC, and Electrum, a drop from rare encounters in Chapter 7 enemies. Let's talk more about Electrum. Its primary source in the first few chapters is the Electrum drone, an enemy that has a small chance of spawning in any non-special encounter. It doesn't do much and flees after a few turns. A more reliable source later on is the Gold Goo, an uncommon mini-boss variant of the Grey Goo enemy. We'll come back to those guys later. Back on the topic of craftable cores, let's show off some exclusive crafting products. Oh, and as always, these are subject to change as I continue to refine the balance of the game. The DT Paint and Alt Paint cores change the color palette of the selected robot and their UI elements. For example, Katie comes in 4 flavors: blueberry, grape, strawberry, and banana fudge. The failsafe protocol allows a robot to sustain a hit that would normally KO them. It's extremely expensive, but offers unparalleled defense against single-hit attacks. This table shows how it scales with multiple equips. The failover optimizer applies an ability discount to all standing robots based on how many robots are downed. It's by far the cheapest ability cost discount in the game, but may be risky to use effectively. That's enough about novel cores for now. Let's get into the status effect changes. As you may already know, negative effects can be mitigated by increasing your status resistance, which acts like defense for status effects. A newly added feature, however, is status armor. Status armor is displayed as a negative duration of its respective effect. Status armor essentially acts as a buffer, forcing enemies to inflict a certain number of turns of a status before it has an impact. Most mid-tier effect-curing items come with a few turns of status armor. Speaking of items, what are the effect-curing items? Well, they come in a few tiers and varieties. There are effect-curing items for each of the 4 elemental status effects, those being heat stress, corrosion, corruption, and short circuit. Heat stress and corrosion cures often come with health restoration, while corruption and short circuit cures tend to come with energy restoration. The tiers of these items currently range from cure a single effect to cure a single effect plus grant some armor to cure multiple effects. So what if using items to manipulate status effects isn't enough? Let's look at the 3 new meta status effects. If you want protection from all negative status effects, well, that's where exotic matter comes in, alongside its rare buff called immunity. The immunity buff temporarily grants a robot total immunity to all negative status effects. The item is a must-have when fighting status effect-focused enemies, especially those on the 90s floor of the NTMC. But what if you do want status effects to spiral out of control? That's where the amplified buff comes in. The amplified buff doubles the effects of all status effects for a duration. That includes positive and negative effects. Currently, it can only be applied to allies, as being able to apply it to any enemy of your choice would be entirely busted, especially considering how well heat stress and corrosion scale. If amplified and immunity aren't to your liking, check out the stasis status effect. It's pretty simple. It's effectively a temporary infliction of the Buggernaut core, pausing status effect cooldowns for its duration. It's a little niche in its usefulness when used on allies, but it can be useful for many strategies against enemies. There's a lot more to go over, but I think I'll leave it at that for now. I'll close out the video just by showing off some encounters with the newer enemies, sans commentary. Thanks for watching, more to come later.